In the previous episode, I covered the transformative years of Adem Jashari's life, from the pivotal battle at his family home in 1991 to the bold emergence of the UÇK in 1997. Now, in this final episode, I will recount the last heroic stand of the Jashari family and the legacy that immortalized them in the fight for Kosovo's freedom. After the second failed attempt to capture Adem at his home on January 22, 1998, the brothers prepared for what they knew would be a retaliation for resisting capture. Bruised but determined, their vow remained unshaken. Defend their family to their last breath, no matter the cost. During the time of the second assault, the Kosovo Liberation Army was still in its infancy, with around 500 soldiers spread across the region. To protect their identity, the organization followed a strict rule of threes, meaning only the three leading members from each cell knew each other. This ensured the safety of every member in case anyone was captured. Weeks after the second attack on the Jashari household, Adem received alarming reports that Serbian police convoys had been terrorizing the village of Likosan for several days. Determined to put an end to it, he dispatched a dozen elite UÇK fighters to the village. On the night of February 27, 1998, the UÇK fighters moved under the cover of darkness. Wasting no time, they split into three units, securing key advantage points to patrol the village. However, that same night, an unknown informant had tipped off the Serbian police of UÇK forces in the village. After a short rest, the UÇK fighters resumed their patrol the next morning. Completely unaware of the impending ambush, one of the units saw three Serbian police vehicles at a distance. Realizing they had to protect the village at all cost, the second unit made a split-second decision to draw the fight away from Likosan. When one of the vehicles noticed them, they immediately gave chase. For a fleeting moment, victory seemed possible. But then, the thunder of 20 helicopters filled the air. Enraged by their losses, Serbian special forces unleashed a brutal revenge. At around 3:30 p.m. that day, they stormed Albanian homes, executing 26 innocent civilians in cold blood. When the killing was done, homes were looted, livestock slaughtered, and entire villages set ablaze. Although the UÇK had dealt a defiant blow that day, the brutal Likosan massacre would stand as a grim reminder of the atrocities that the Serbian police would inflict on the Albanian population. Days after the brutal massacre of Likosan, Serbian police forces arrived deeper into Učice stronghold, launching sweeping operations across Drenica. The Jashari family in particular realized that they were not just fighting for the cause, but for their very existence. On the surface, at least, life at the Jashari house seemed to go on as usual. The harsh reality, however, was that with every passing day, each moment of peace felt increasingly fragile. As the sun barely had risen over Prekaz on the fateful morning of March 5th, 1998, Adem received a telephone call from a trusted friend, warning him of an overwhelming Serbian force moving from Mitrovica towards Skenderaj. Driven by a deep sense of duty, Adem, his brother Hamza, and their father Shaban began preparing for the battle they knew was inevitable. Long ago, they had made a solemn oath that, no matter what lay ahead, they would not surrender or abandon their home. Meanwhile, as the Jashari family made preparations, the Serbian forces moved with chilling precision and brutality, encircling the entire region of Skenderaj and beyond. To prevent any reinforcements from reaching the Jashari family, approximately 15,000 military and Serbian police personnel surrounded Prekaz, sealing off all entrances, effectively trapping the Jashari family from the outside world. At approximately 6 a.m. on March 5th, 1998, Adem spotted a massive Serbian force advancing from the direction of the ammunition factory towards the Jashari family compound. Within minutes, Serbian tanks opened fire, unleashing a relentless barrage of shells. While the deafening mortar shells and the heavy machine gun echoed throughout Drenica, Adem's comrades from surrounding villages rushed to assist his family. But time and again, they were met with overwhelming opposition, halting every attempt to reach Adem and his family. Inside the second building, where Hamza had courageously taken his stand, returned fire with everything he had, all while chanting the song.
Praponi burra se skane pri Vrtetim sote nebesa besa Brane jamurit se kuturit Eja milni katu katu Eja milni katu Eja milni katu
On March the 5th, 1998, Serb forces attacked the home of a leading KLA commander called Adem Jashari in the stronghold of Prekaz. The Serbs regarded this as legitimate anti-terrorist policing. It was the start of a brutal campaign that would lose them Kosovo.
As the battle stretched through the 5th and 6th of March, the Jashari family compound was engulfed in fire, and thick, suffocating smoke. As the battle raged on through the morning of March 7th, the Jashari family resistance began to weaken. With ammunition running low and exhaustion taking its toll, the once relentless gunfire from within the compound began to fade. By 3 p.m. on March 7th, a Serbian tank rumbled through the compound, grinding over the shattered remains of what had once been a symbol of defiance. After nearly 60 hours of relentless battle, the final shot was fired at around 4 p.m., signaling the end of the gruesome siege. When the Serbian police entered the main building, a faint cry pierced through the eerie silence. Beneath the rubble, in a small pocket of debris, 10-year-old Besarta, Hamza's daughter, was miraculously still alive.
We could hear the sound of gunshots and tanks. Uncle Adem told us not to be afraid, and we went into the basement. We lay on the floor and covered ourselves with blankets. They threw in a grenade. Grandma was blown into the next room. Almost everyone was killed. My sister started begging for water and calling out, "Mother, Mother."
As the police dragged her from the ruins, they forced her to say that her uncle, Adem Jashari, had killed everyone who wanted to surrender. Yugoslav Army General Nebojša Pavković later described the operation as a normal police action against a known criminal, adding, "I do not remember the other details." In a 2021 interview, former police officer Jovan Golubović, who was directly involved in the event of those fateful days, testified about the Prekaz massacre. In the interview, he revealed chilling details stating, "We were ordered not to leave anyone alive." Golubović, who served as a protected witness at the Serbian war crimes between 2009 and 2010, disclosed that the orders to assassinate Adem Jashari came directly from Belgrade, and that it was executed by the commander of the Serbian gendarmerie, Goran Radosavljević. Adem Jashari, Golubović said, was killed with a bullet to the back of his head. The Serbian public doesn't know, but I saw it with my own two eyes, that Adem Jashari's throat had been cut. Shortly after the massacre, journalists arrived at the site and reported that 20 members of Shaban Jashari's family, including Adem and his brother Hamza, had been brutally killed.
Mora fiale, mora vargun, mora chargun, meithurkan, bashe legendary the tikandor.
Among the youngest victims, just 9 years old, was Blerina Jashari, the daughter of Hamza Jashari. In addition, 36 other relatives and friends, women, children, and elderly, were also murdered. The Jashari family, once a powerful symbol of resistance, was nearly obliterated in the brutal assault. Weeks after the Prekaz massacre, shockwaves reverberated throughout Kosovo. In Pristina alone, nearly 15,000 people flooded to the streets in protest of the horrific event. As the Kosovo War raged on, The world watched in horror as more massacre unfolded. One devastating event in particular was the Rachak massacre, which occurred on January 15, 1999.
This is about as horrendous an event as I've seen. I've been in some pretty nasty situations.
What I personally saw, I do not hesitate to describe the event as a massacre, obviously a crime very much against humanity. The facts as verified by KVM include evidence of arbitrary detentions, extrajudicial killings, and the mutilation of unarmed civilians of Albanian ethnic origin in the village of Rachak by the MUP and VJ.
By March 1999, international media reported that Yugoslav and Serbian forces had destroyed entire villages, brutally murdered over 10,000 ethnic Albanian civilians, and displaced over 1 million Kosovar Albanians from their homes.
We meet today in a place of tranquility and beauty, but we are here to change a scene of violence and fear.
In an attempt to halter the bloodshed, the international community proposed peace talks at the Rambouillet Agreement, which Serbia ultimately rejected. In response, NATO launched airstrikes on March 24, 1999, targeting key military infrastructure across Serbia and Kosovo. After 78 days of relentless airstrikes, NATO's intervention ultimately forced Serbia to withdraw, bringing the devastating war to an end.
You have to leave within 30 minutes, and it's 11 o'clock now. There's no moment, there's an order. That's the end of the discussion. You have now 28 minutes.
Although Kosovo declared independence on February 17, 2008,
Nëpërmjet kësaj deklarate shpallim Kosovën shtet të pavarur dhe demokratik.
the question of its legality soon reached the world's highest judicial body.
The court has concluded above that the adoption of the Declaration of Independence of the 17th of February 2008 did not violate general international law, Security Council Resolution 1244, or the constitutional framework.
Yet beneath this new chapter lies the memory of sacrifice.
Mora fiale, mora varguna mora.
The freedom enjoyed today was not simply inherited. It was earned through struggle, resilience, and the unyielding will of a people who refused to bow. At the heart of this story stands Adem Jashari, whose name has become inseparable from Kosovo's fight for independence, and whose legacy continues to guide its future. I hope you have enjoyed this series and found it both meaningful and insightful. I want to extend a heartfelt thanks to all of you who have patiently waited for this final episode and for the incredible support you have given the channel. Your encouragement truly means the world to me. If you are new to the channel and want to help it grow, please subscribe, share the video, and smash the like button. Until next time, Tung.